Again, my name is Dr. Wenli Jen, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about daring discoveries in the sense of age. So, dare to leave my age. So as you guys have seen already, that's pretty much the general topic of it. So when I was young, I played a lot of games. So have many of you guys. There's hopscotch, video games, board games. We even play all kinds of things, dodgeball, football, truth or dare. And the truth is that every moment that we are living, we are also dying. And it's a really neat and fascinating, but at the same time very scary thing to think about. But do we dare to then turn the time and the clock around to become younger because we want to be, or when we're younger, wanting to be older? And so I'm no exception. When I was younger, I had graduated from Harvard and I went back to Los Angeles here in Southern California. And I got my first job here in LA and was the youngest director in my company. As a young director, people always said certain things. And you can kind of hear it by the looks, by what people had said behind you, in front of you, and all kinds of things. And they didn't like it because I was in my 20s, and granted, I had the education and the experience. What I looked like, with the bangs obviously here, I didn't have bangs then, and there's reason for that. Every single day I wore a suit to work, for years, because I wanted to command that respect. I thought that if I wore a suit and acted older and put on glasses and curled my hair, that I would be accepted more so. But I learned for a long, long period of time, it took a long time for me to realize that it wasn't really about that. It's really about doing the job and doing it well. But it was hard for me. A young 20-something-year-old with 45, 50-year-old directors, always telling you, doubting you, and just saying, I don't think your idea is all that great. And so for me, it was really hard. But what I found was that there's this really amazing thing that's happening in the world. We have people who are young, who want to be older. There are high school students who have senioritis, and they're like, I'm ready to get out. I gotta go. I want to go to college already. And they want to grow up so fast. And they think to themselves, man, if I was 25, I'd be out there driving my Porsche. I think my Porsche if I have enough money. But don't think about those things. But sometimes they fiercely want to grow up so bad. And the reason being is that actually we just really want to be heard. Many times we look at youth and we kind of dismiss the ideas that they have because we're thinking, oh, they're too young. Maybe it doesn't really matter. It's okay. They just need some more experience. We oftentimes say that. And so for youth, it's much harder. And at the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, we have people who are much older, and they want to be young again, right? You see all these miracle creams and everything like that. What is it now? BB cream, CC cream, DD creams, eventually ZZ creams, and adult AAA creams, right? Amazing, awesome, anti-aging kind of creams, right? But that's what we have nowadays. We have people who are not happy with the actual age that they're at. We say to them, no, if you are 35, it's not okay to be 35, you should be 22. And granted, again, I'm not an exception because sometimes I think about my fun fat and I hope my metabolism is really what an 18-year-old would be. And so a lot of times that happens. And I was in a training and I realized how detrimental these mixed messages are. This training had a bunch of people who were just really talking, and one of them said, oh, did you see that elected official? I cannot believe she's wearing those leggings and boots. So there's this 50-year-old elected official who's wearing leggings and boots. So what? I didn't know that the leggings actually had something on the side, printed on the stretchy material that said, if you are over 30, you can't wear it. I doubt that when she went to the store and she looked, that actually was there. So then I was really astonished. I was thinking, this is kind of unfair. And yet in the same conversation, another person spoke up at that training. And that person said, oh, did you hear about that person? So-and-so, he's only 23 years old and he's a school board member in her district. She was furious. One part of it is that she lost to him, but the other part of it is that she's thinking, how can this young person do all of these great things and get into that leadership position? And so it was so hard for her, but I was thinking, wow, this is kind of bad. Because on one end, we tell youth, we say, you guys, Go out there, be awesome, be leaders. And then when they do, what do we really tell them? We're telling them something else. We're saying, no, you wait your turn. So what is the message here? We're trapped. So then we talk about these things, but there's so much complexity in age. Can we be a 16-year-old, have wisdom of a 40-year-old, and yet love the music of a 25-year-old that they would also appreciate? Sure, why not? Of course it can happen. We are complex human beings. We are not meant to be linear. Not from here to here, it's not like that. So then the challenge then is, if you are one age, are you really happy at that age? Because if we're constantly trying to be something we're not, then are we really being who we are? So if we are 18, shouldn't we take advantage of the 365 days that we are 18? And if we are 55, shouldn't we take advantage of those 365 days that we are 55? Why shouldn't we? But the ideas of society and all of these constructs that are socially constructed tell us, no, that's not right. And then we do it to ourselves and we do it to our friends. We say, man, I wish I was young enough again and I could do this and I could do that. Well, why can't you do it right now? Oh, I wish that I was old enough so that I can do this and that. Why can't you do it right now? And so we have these ideas in our heads and we have these restrictions we place on ourselves. And so ultimately then the question is that challenge. I challenge you even today. And so even if you don't feel comfortable, this is what I want you to do. I want you to shout out loud, very loud, your actual age, not your pretend age, okay? No Forever 21, okay? So please do it. Just shout out the actual number. And guess what? You're going to be saying it at the same time as other people, so you don't have to be like, 31, no. So let's be proud and not embarrassed about our actual age. So on the count of 3, I want you to say your actual age. And be happy that you are at that age. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo-hoo! 32. 16. So people might look at me, and I just told you how old I was, but if they look at me, and you might be thinking, oh wow, I didn't think that she was 32. And I get that often. If I tell them I have a doctorate from USC and I have a master's from Harvard and I have multiple credentials and licenses, and they say, wow, you're really young. So then should I take that actually as a compliment or as an insult? So sometimes then we have to put ourselves in the other spot and say, well, I think it was a compliment. Or, wow, I kind of did get hurt because does it not validate all the work that I've done? And one of the things that I realize about all of this is that sometimes we have choices that we make throughout the day. And all of these choices matter because let's say if you are 16, are there certain things that you can do at 16 that you can only do at 16? And if that's the case, why not maximize it? When I was in college, I had a lot of things that I really wanted to do, but I thought those are probably things that I would do when I'm in my 30s. Again, thinking too much forward and not really at the present. So I thought, well, there's 4 years of my college career. What can I do in my college career that can only do in college years? So I joined a co-ed frat. I became an RA, a resident advisor, because I figured if I was 50, I don't know, it might be a little weird if I was an RA and kind of taking care of the dorms and people might come to me and say, well, I have a problem, and that would be just incredibly awkward. And I wouldn't even have the opportunities to possibly be an RA at the age of, let's say, 40 or 50. So a lot of times we look at these choices that we make, and if we are so much in the future and we think, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, then it creates that anxiousness within us. But then if we're too much in the past, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Then we're full of regret. So if that's the case, why can't we be so much more present 365 days, what are the awesome things that I can do every day? As you guys know on Facebook and a lot of things, they have the hashtag 100 happy days. So why can't it be 365 days at my age and being comfortable? And that's kind of the message at the very end of the day. Are you comfortable? Are you happy? Are you happy being 23? Are you happy being 25? Is there something else that you feel like you're missing? And I say to this one thing, this one message at the end of the day, is that ultimately, it doesn't matter how you think about age. It doesn't matter what you think about youthfulness and things like that. It does matter how you feel comfortable in your own skin. Sure, I can be 32, but I still feel very youthful. And that's the point. If we can balance the youthfulness and the maturity and still have that good balance, then we are fine. Well, I hope we are fine, but sometimes some people take it and they say, well, you can't have both. Then the question is, why can't you? You can still be mature and still have a youthful spirit. So that's the challenge for everybody, not only to be so happy in the embodiment of your age at the current state, but also look forward, look backward, and see, what are some of the choices that I made? What are some of the things that I want to do? And what are some of the things that I have done? But we don't want to send these mixed messages. We don't want to say to the person who's using the wrinkle cream, we say, oh, we congratulate them. Oh, wow, that's so great, you're using that cream. You look so young and everything. But at the same time, we have the issue with the leggings. Oh, but you can't wear those leggings. When does it stop then? When can I be really young and when can I be really old? It just seems so confusing to me. So again, at the end of the day, it matters how comfortable you feel. How comfortable you feel in your own skin. Sometimes you might forget what age you are. And actually, that's kind of the beauty of it, when you forget. Because you're going about your life in a way that doesn't need that number to determine who you are and who you're all about, what you're all about. So again, it's that challenge. If you get a chance to think about the things that you do from one day to the next, and even from one 365 days to the next 365 days, one of the main things is to know if these are the training grounds, then we need to kind of figure out when is it appropriate for us to move to the next step. And we can stand in one place but embody many different quote-unquote ages. Thank you so much.